interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast. The German news agency
as long as they can see our face, as long as it's lit up, I think we're fine. Like, I think people can see us fine.
late development in this news.
Mama, I love you. Dang, you came through.
Bro, yeah, that's love. That's love. Jeremiah, bro.
Jay, he's doing the volleyball thing now.
What you mean volleyball?
He's a coach.
Oh my God, get out of here.
He coaches like these girls and stuff, and they be going downstate, they be traveling every week.
Travel team, you can't they
can't do
serious.
nothing with it. Alright, so our audio's on. Check.
Yeah.
Video's on. Check. We in there. Check.
Exactly.
Alright. This is what? Today's the January the 27th.
Yes.
2018. This is our 5th episode.
It's episode 5.
It's episode 5 for me. This is episode 2 for you. And we in here. I had a one liner I wanted to open with. Because as they're hearing this now, you don't understand what we went through to get to this point.
Yeah.
But as we're recording right now, I want y'all to know this is what quality sounds like.
Real talk.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
This is the Identity Booth.
Yeah.
My name is Hero, and I'm with me as always for the last 2 episodes is my co-host Eric, and we are in this joint and we're enjoying ourselves. The Identity Booth is all about putting you guys in a situation where you get to know and get to see the things that we're able to do. Identify with your culture, and in the process, you'll be able to help your culture grow. So that's what we're trying to do here today. Eric, how you doing?
Man, I'm lovely, bro. I'm glad we got this upgrades.
How long did it take us to set this up?
We talked about it last night for a minute. Like
ever.
I mean,
how much sleep do you think I've gotten?
Bro, maybe like 4 hours or something, maybe.
That's generous.
I mean, trying to be generous.
That's generous. I'm happy that we got this all set up. And it's not a guarantee. So if you're listening to this as we speak now, it's not a guarantee that this is probably going to work the way we want it to the first time, but it's the effort. It's the thing. That's what counts. Effort.
E for effort.
We put in the effort.
Yeah.
For you guys. I want y'all to be able to listen to this and be like, this is high quality. Like, how are we going to be telling y'all how to get better in our shit?
I mean, that's kind of a good point, bro. I mean, we seriously like, bro, y'all boys trying to tell us how to get money. Y'all ain't even got no video.
You don't got no video. Like, this is garbage. And I'm just like, man, hey, look. How you been, man?
It was an interesting week, you know, but got through it. You know, we had 2 weeks off of work. You know, went back Wednesday for the first day. It was a bit herky-jerky, but, you know, we made it do what we had to do.
I'm here to tell y'all got some bad news in the last 10 days. If y'all got some bad news in the last 10 days, here's some advice from somebody that's very good at handling bad news, which is me. Take the day off. Just kind of let that stench of defeat just be on you.
Yeah.
For one day. That's all you got, though. 300. You got 24 hours from the moment you receive it to the moment that you can let it go. Take that day. And, like, don't do anything. Like, hear me, be crass. Don't brush your teeth or nothing. Just indulge yourself in that nastiness.
Yep.
And then immediately at 24.00001, you hit the fucking ground running, guys.
Exactly,
like
man.
Like a bat out of hell. And you run, you shower, you brush, you go buy yourself a good breakfast.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need the energy. And then you get your stuff in order. And I guarantee you, you're going to be seeing a lot better outcome.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
It is, black people have this tendency where they don't want to be seen as weak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you, my name's Hero. You're weak.
Yeah.
But it's about the duration. And your effects. Get knocked down 7, get up 8.
Exactly.
So, I mean, last podcast was super long.
I know.
Shout out to people that did listen to this one. We're going to edit this one down if need be. But
yeah.
I'm here to tell you guys, shout out to the moms, to the wives, to the sisters,
brothers, dads
who sat there and listened to 132 minutes not 130, 60, 90, 92 minutes of us talking.
Yeah.
On some poor quality,
yeah,
no video.
Yeah.
Y'all the real MVPs, and we're gonna make sure we can do better for you, and also for the viewers on like. So, just for shits, if you guys want to catch up with us and know where we are, you can find us on Project ETO. For right now, we're coming up with another separate page. Because Project ETO is definitely more about the app. This more is about the identity booth, right? This is a whole new genre thing. It might be umbrellaed with Project ETO, but it's definitely its own identity. So look out for that. But for the meantime, if you want to catch me or Eric, you can find both of us as admins on Project ETO on Facebook, Instagram, Project_ETO, Twitter, Project_ETO. But if you want to contact Eric directly,
it's at Thomas RFC Group. Thomas RFC Group. That's on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get to me. I mean, I do have Messenger on my phone, but just Instagram me. I'll hit you right back.
Cool. So, are we getting into news, or is there some stuff we want to get off your chest? What's up?
Hey, man, let's jump right into it. I know we got a list of stuff, man.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. First topic we want to cover today, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today. We're going to be talking about voting in Texas, which is coming up pretty soon. We're also going to be talking about responsibility and accountability, the Larry Nassar story. We're also going to be talking about why good people are having such a hard time being out in the open. We're also going to talk about Black History Month.
Come on
next month. We both picked two people we find extremely interesting. So we're going to talk about them. And we're going to set up that account. We're going to set up that business account. And put that 500 of Heroes dollars that he probably doesn't have, but he's going to do. And also in there, we're going to throw something in there about pulling the black card. We had a situation where Monique.
Oh, bro.
We'll get to that. But let's start off with the most important topic. This will all be time-stamped at the bottom. So just look for that. I didn't get myself in the water. So here you go. Go with the voting. Go.
All right, cool, man. So I know it's a topic that, us as colored folk, we don't really touch on until it's time to, and that's usually every 4 years. I mean, I don't feel like we get connected enough with, especially with the local government, because that's where we can really affect the most change. People wait for the general election for the president to come around, and then we kind of just shuffle in behind whoever the Democrats throw up there. But that's not wise for us. It's not how we get stuff done. So, first of all, if you're not registered to vote, today is the 27th. You have until February 5th to go and get registered to vote. Literally, all you got to do is Google it. Texas voter registration. Literally, go on there. It'll pull up a form. You fill it out, and then you print it. You print it you can save it as a PDF, and you print it. And then you have to mail it in. It has the address on there. Obviously, you're going to have to pay for postage, but you need to drop that in the mail before the 5th. You need to get that in there. It's really, really important, especially here in the state. I mean, I know, I don't know who knows, but Texas is in a bit of flux. You got to think about, especially here in North Texas, we've had about 3 million people move here in the last 7 years, and most of these people come from blue states.
Yeah.
They're very, very progressive. You got to think, we got Google down in Austin. We've got Toyota, which came from California, that's up in Plano. We've got State Farm here. I mean, we've got a lot of progressive companies that are moving here and brought millions of jobs here in the last 7-8 years. So it's really imperative, if there's something that matters to you that is going on in the city or in the state, you need to get registered to vote. So February 20 to March 2nd is early voting for the primary. March 6th is primary election day. So if you want to get out and vote in the primaries, if you got a horse you want to place your bet on, primary election day will probably be for you. If you don't know anything about that, that's all right. Me and Hero are going to school you to the game.
Yeah, and that is a great point, because Project ETO also works in that capacity. One of the best things about ETO that I find is that you'll be able to look up these political affiliates. Yeah. And I'm going to be able to put poignant facts about them. Hey, this person said he's about jobs. Guess what? He took he signed a bill that allowed for a $20 million buyout of a company after they foreclosed on 3,000 jobs or something of nature. I'm going to put this in there for you guys. I'm going to be looking for this information. My little team of hurdlers, as I call them. They gather so much information. These poor freshmen that I pay compensation to, God bless them, because I don't know how they find this information, but it's all peer reviewed, it's all factual, and it's just going to be something for you to have. If you don't know what you're like, to be honest, when you voted this year, you just went in and voted for based on parties. Mm-hmm. But some people in the party are toxic, like Ted Cruz, which is who we need to get out of the Senate seat, and his seat is up this year, and someone needs to challenge him in the primary. Both Democratic and Republican.
And here's the thing. So I was at this political advocacy group, and there are some people, and I'm talking to Republicans and Libertarians, and they're like, yo, this dude's too mainline, straight-laced, old school. And that's the issue. Like, I know part of the reason why Hero and I decided we wanted to make this, because, I'm 31 years old. You know what I'm saying? Hero's 29. Like, we need somebody our age, slightly older, to challenge these people, and
because we can't just yet. The situation. Because what is the age that you can go for primary?
I know president. I thought it was 35
for president.
But
I think for the primary, you at least, because I know the state reps are at 21.
I think
you have to just be able to vote. But on top of that, it's the effect of being the hero of too many things.
Yeah.
Hero had a plan to become a doctor, more so become a doctor so he could make more doctors like him. Like 36% of African Americans, males, died from treatable heart disease. And the number one killing factor isn't the fact that they don't have insurance. It's because they didn't know.
Yep.
And the way that happens is because they don't feel like they can go to any doctor to talk about that.
Yep.
So you pick your poisons fight. There's a good friend. I know you're listening to this. If you're not, Guillermo. He's in Chicago, and he's the ideal type of politician who has this very strong will, like what's fair and balanced. Mm-hmm. We need these people. We need to encourage these people. There's another girl, a great girl on my Facebook page named Sarah. She goes to all these active events and stuff like this, and I'm saying to myself, stop being the activist and start being the
solution. Like,
I want to see you get in there. Get in the office. I would vote for you.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be important. So look out for that. Pay attention to the Project BTO page. We're going to be posting people and profiles about these people. And I think even throughout February, I think that'll be what I'll be talking about primarily on Project BTO videos. I'll be doing like little 3-10-minute bios on these people who are being primary, what their policies have been thus far, and, what it does for the common man, the rich man, and the poor man. What is their benefits, cost, effect, and all that BS. So let's look out for that for sure.
Yeah, we need that. I mean, so I don't know. I got the list here, and it's really based on political affiliations, and which is great. We're not here to tell you to be affiliated with one group over the other. As I said last week, I feel like I'm a bit right of center. I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself a Republican because I think they're way too soft. I think they're a bunch of chumps. And I think being too far left of center is not good for black people at all. It hasn't done anything positive for black people in this country in about 60 years. So we got to get off the Democratic bandwagon to a certain extent. They're not all bad. There are some really, really good Democrats, especially on the local level, especially in this city. There are a lot. And you know what's crazy, bro? It's a lot of female Democrats that are like low key taking positions, judges, running for sheriff. I mean, like they are getting busy. City council.
Women are, especially in 2018, women are definitely like their rise to power has greatly increased, and rightfully so. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this: the Democrats might have fought for you to be free, but they didn't pass the law for it.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, let's talk about the influx of, I guess, like, are you okay with this change? And from what aspect of the party are you expecting this type of change? Like, what are you expecting to change with this new coming year? Like, the millennials now outnumber the baby boomers 2-1.
Yeah. But here's what I think. What I realize about I'm on YouTube a lot. I watch a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of political rhetoric on YouTube. I don't really tune into the news station. So, I mean, I have all different kinds of points of views from different people who are affiliated, who consider themselves libertarian, they consider themselves Democrat, they can consider themselves Republican or anarchist or communist or socialist.
Anarchists.
Yeah, man, it's a little groundswell of those people popping up. You gotta keep your eye on them people. And they got deep pockets, and that's what's scary. So anyway, I'm just saying all that to say, millennials right now have the best chance to do something. Why? Is because everybody's going to start pandering to them for their votes, and the society considers a millennial anybody that's 18 to 35. So. And we're the crux of what I would consider American civilization. Yeah. So if we don't get a solid plan and we don't just get out here and stop whining about stuff, like you said, like the young lady you were talking about who needs to actually challenge for a Senate or a House seat. Get out here and challenge for a Senate or a House seat. It doesn't take that much. Bro, I tell you what, I got a buddy of mine, he's in Boston. Framingham, Massachusetts is the largest township in the whole country. He's 25 years old. He challenged a 50-year-old man and a 40-something-year-old black lady. He's a half Irish, half Italian white boy who grew up, he's one of those Southie kids. He grew up on the wrong side of the track. Used to move pounds and everything. He's one of those guys. He was that guy. Cleaned his life up and he decided to run. He came in third place. And he's still challenging right now. That town, which is predominantly white, ended up voting the black lady in as the first ever mayor of the town, which is phenomenal. But, he got those people so nervous. Yeah. He didn't need to win. He just needed to challenge.
Just to shake
it was enough for them to be like, hey, Josh, I need you to come and be a part of my team. I've won, but people follow you. Like, he can't go anywhere without people knowing who he is and people stopping him and congratulating him on the work he did.
All right. So for sure, in closing, as far as this topic is concerned, on Project Detail's Facebook page and his Instagram, I'm going to post these links and the pictures, the time, the dates, and all that information can be found in the description below of this video. So you guys have to the click access. You're going to have to walk your letter up to a mailbox, but God have mercy. If you want to see change, that might be the walk that changes everything.
Come on, man.
So, moving on down the list, we are going to talk about Larry Nassar. Do we know who this guy is? Does anyone know who this man is? Larry Nassar?
I didn't hear of him until this whole situation.
This lovely scoundrel is going to be serving 175 years in jail for sexually assaulting 150 women. He was the U.S. Olympic gymnastic doctor. And he was sentenced recently after the whole Me Too and upcoming and all of those things. He pled guilty. So this isn't a question of, is he bad? Is he a bad guy? Was it misunderstood? No, he pled guilty. Like, this man knew what he did. There was more than enough evidence to do it. And all 150 women came to his hearing and gave their fighting closing statements. And it took about 6 hours, but he had to sit there and apologize for 6 hours to 150 women that he sexually assaulted, which, you can go to therapy for years. That closure will never come. Yeah. To have the suspect, the guilty person, actually reconcile with you, even for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. It was very important. But this is not the topic that we're here to talk about, ironically. The issue here is, last week, a lot of people came out and said me and Eric had some very tumultuous point of views. And I was like, hey, you know what? That's to be expected. Like,
we're two different guys.
Yeah, like, me personally, as I was telling you the other day, like, hey, you have to pay me to care about you. but to be honest, it's to be expected. And I have this theory that until it happens to a white person, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And I say to a white person, but this goes in all aspects. I didn't care about the homeless until I went to bed hungry. Mm. So every day, Eric's been in my kitchen. Nothing gets thrown away. If I feel like I can throw it into a bucket and make it into another meal, that's what's going to happen.
Hey, but that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be. So the problem that here now is the question arose: what 150 women complained about one person to several, to universities, to deans, to parents, to guardians, to coaches, to friends, to family, and nobody came to their aid. Who should the coaches not be held accountable?
They have to be.
But they're not being held accountable. To which is then, this is the juxtaposition and the part I'm drawing a parallel. 160 black kids get shot by police officers, and we say, hey, look, these officers aren't doing good by us. Can we get some help here?
Yeah.
And people are like, well, maybe you shouldn't have been, in that neighborhood. Or maybe, we apologists, police apologists, enable officers to continue this type of conduct, and moreover, the law and the justice system allows it. But now that we have a clear understanding of what the consequences are of silence, what needs to be done, do you feel, in order for us to rectify this situation? Accountability is important, but what would stop you from interfering with a situation of sexual assault? Like, do you have any examples at all?
No. The one thing that bothered me about this story is how many young ladies it was, and why. The question I always have anytime I hear it, first of all, I need to say, anybody who sexually assaults anybody. But in this case, we're talking about a grown man, a quote unquote father figure,
Yes.
a big brother, an uncle, whatever the heck, towards an innocent, unsuspecting young lady. Needs to be, in my opinion, castrated. I mean, people were like, "Oh my God, Eric, that's extreme." No, seriously, you're a creep, and you don't deserve your genitalia at that point. You forfeited it. That's how I feel like you forfeited it. You don't need to be. And secondly, like this is supposed to be something as a society that we're supposed to be stamping out. So I feel like it's your responsibility to tell me so that we can pummel him together.
Yeah. And the best thing about going to jail, no matter how old you are, you're still fresh meat.
Exactly.
So he's going to be
assaulted on a regular basis.
There's a guy in there called Debo who's been a little rowdy lately, and he needs some fresh meat. And hey, Doc,
he's going to be holding his pockets real soon.
Doc, it's important that you don't clinch at first back, and then you swallow your tongue. So, but I draw that comparison because it's like, yeah, we want to women in these situations are. I'm not going to sit here and blame the women for being afraid to speak up or being afraid to confront this, because that is something not natural. You're not supposed to know how to defend yourself from this. But it's important that you hear this. You parents out here who are so eager, especially in the black community, to put your kids in these athletic worlds with these white coaches. Like, every time if you think about it, and this is not to be a drug here, I played football, so of course I have advice, but when my kids play, now why they live under my roof. And it's not because, I don't trust all the white, no, it's not that, it's because it's CTE. I was lucky.
Yeah.
But they probably won't be as lucky. And moreover, we have this tendency to just trust people with our most prized possession.
Exactly.
These are your children. Like, 150 women went in and, like, as parents, like, how do you not know these things? How do you not have these conversations? Like, hey, look, no one is allowed to touch you here, here, or here.
Exactly.
Ever.
And
if anyone does, that's something you bring to me.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's your best friend.
Yes.
I don't care if it's someone you like, your coach, your teacher, someone that you think I'm afraid of, because I'll beat you both down.
Exactly. And I feel like we have to start, especially us as colored folks, we have to start telling our kids, especially our young ladies, that I am responsible for you. Like, first of all, and here's something I didn't realize until I got older. I didn't ask to be in this world.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And so parents have to tell their children, listen, you didn't ask to be here. Me and your dad, the parents decided to bring you here. So we are responsible. Completely destroys relationships in the future, potentially.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And I guess, just for closing for this, like, it's important. You're like, people, hear us out. Don't sit quietly and be a victim.
Yeah.
Your responsibility as a victim is to tell someone.
Yeah.
Because your ability to be a victim, or the unfortunate events of you becoming a victim, may lead to you being the hero of someone else.
Yeah.
So and once again, I'm not here to shame the 150 girls that didn't say anything. I'm here to shame the 150 people related to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that also being said, hey, people, you need to start drawing lines of these things aren't happening just by coincidence. There's a reason why, XYZ doctors able to do these things. Let's not allow people to just use the "I didn't know." There's a great science experiment about the innocent bystander effect. Speaks to this. It's a natural phenomenon. Man in New York City, middle of the day, falls in the middle of the crosswalk. There are 7 doctors in the crowd and no one helps him. It's something we do naturally, but that is not reason. And when you interview these people and ask them why, nurses, pathologists, all these people are in the crowd.
Yeah.
Why not even call doctor? And there's even a younger story about a lady in the Bronx who was sexually assaulted and murdered, and everyone heard her screaming. 31 people heard her screaming, but they thought someone else was going to call the police. I put this, but it's something we naturally do, and it's our way of alleviating responsibility. Because as individuals, no matter if you like someone or not, you never truly want to be the person that everyone can come to for information on a negative thing.
I get that, but at the same time, if you have the ability and the opportunity to do something good and you don't do it, it's wickedness. Yes. It's really wicked.
But it comes down to a natural era of like A side of your brain, the dominance in your brain. Like if you're A side brain, you're more dominant. They found that a lot more people. There's like no telling which one, but they definitely said A dominant people. This is one of the situations where they take flight instead of fight. And for B dominant people, they assume that someone stronger is already there. So it's like that negative loop that just keeps on. Alpha is like, oh wait, if I go there and help them, what if I'm not prepared to fight? What if I'm not strong enough to help? And B people are like, I definitely know I can't help, so I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
This is going to take a while to edit. Alright, so what are we going to talk to that? We're going to combine this topic. We're going to talk about why good people are having a hard time standing up in today's world. You look at all the people that are really being shown off. It's a bunch of bad people. This is not only weird to me, it's also like debilitating. Because it doesn't set a good example. Our president, for whoever he is, every child aspires to be that person or looks to this person for advice. Could you ever imagine trying to get advice from Donald Trump?
It depends on what it was. I mean,
there's nothing in sexual assault.
That's not completely founded.
What? 13 women of accusations, and he paid
Okay, hold on. So what I don't like, is alleging. We've seen for the last 4 or 5 months, since October, we've seen alleged, and it goes back to the previous topic. The only difference was from the Larry Nassar case is there was evidence.
Okay, so we have evidence that he paid off a porn star $130,000 after he
was married. He was married. Of course, he has to pay her off. He was married.
So you don't
doesn't mean that he sexually assaulted her. Obviously, that was consensual.
Yeah.
Okay, but anything else?
Eric, you mean to tell me somebody who's willing to cheat on their wife after they had their final child is not someone you? I'm being crass.
We're crucifying him in the court of public opinion. I mean, you being in the legal profession yourself, it's innocent until proven guilty. You can allege all day long, but I
lose my license.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, it's we should never allege. And again, that's why as a culture, as a people, we need to be educated on burden of proof relies on the accuser.
And burden of proof in education, let's hit off with that. What there's two things that are going on right now that are kind of detrimental. We were talking about this yesterday about how there's black population is 14% of the total population.
Yes.
They make up 63% of the jail house. And I'm gonna probably come out with a video on this too. Since I'll be re-uploading again. What are some things why are we getting put in jail? Is what the big question is right now. Why are we being sent to prison? Like, what's going on with all this? But we're trying to figure out what's going on with us and how we can prevent this. And I'm just here to tell you, people, if you're listening to this and you have kids, and your kids don't know when the officer comes and asks you a question that you don't say anything, you just, the only thing that should come out of your child's mouth is your first and last name and your telephone number. You've let your child down.
Yes.
You've let your child down. Your child as soon as your child learns how to say your name and remember 7 digits, don't, like, this notion of having officers in schools is disturbing to me.
It is.
This notion of cops being your friends is disturbing to me.
Yes.
Because I've always told someone, hey, you see, bad guys have what? Guns.
A baton, pepper spray, a
Shield.
gun.
He's there to protect you. What, did he give you a body vest when he arrived?
No.
Did he offer you a meal? Has he ever paid a bill of yours?
No.
It's not their job.
Their job is to levy fines against you and collect taxes for the municipality or the county with which they work, or if they're a state trooper, for the state.
They are there to serve and protect the law. And guess what? The law is not on your side. So we know that, just statistically speaking, black people, minorities in general, are disproportionately abused by the justice system. And we are making strides in step. There's been an increase of 14% in minority growth in the justice system. But one of the faults that we're seeming to have here is, with that 14% increase, there's also been a 32% increase of dissatisfaction and rapport from those departments. So 2 things come to mind. One, black people are coming into the system, and when things go wrong in the system, they're being accused of it.
Yep.
Once again, I dare you, go look it up. I challenge you. Name 10 white officers in the last 5 years that have been sent to jail for their conduct in the police department. I only named 5 in a video from 10 months ago, and I went all the way back to 2005. But if you're a minority, not a problem. There's almost 30.
Wow.
A quick story that hasn't quite yet resolved up, but you probably remember the Australian white lady who got shot by the Muslim police officer. I don't remember where it happened, but that's still ongoing. But they're asking for that guy's head. They're asking for his head, and I would be asking for a white officer's head too if it was the flip situation. So it's not a black or white thing. It's just a political, like, justice type thing. Like, we are having a hard time keeping the most. You see a hood dude, like a thuggish type dude. He is one of our soldiers. He's easily one of the most dangerous people to the white man. And when I say white man, I mean obviously the system. Because he's a fighter, he's a brawler, he's a survivor. And when you have someone who can survive in any element, especially the hood, he's going to make it anywhere. So why wouldn't you want to throw the most dangerous individual into a jail cell? And he's not dangerous because he's physical. He's dangerous because he's mental.
Yep.
So what do you feel we need to do in order to keep our young out of jail? There was an educational thing you were talking about.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's real simple. Like, the reason why a lot of black kids end up in jail, specifically males, is because they either commit a violent crime or they commit a drug-related crime. If you don't do those 2 things, you have a significantly higher chance of not being in jail for a long term.
That's fair.
I mean, so here's the thing. Graduate high school, don't have kids before wedlock, and don't commit a drug or violent crime. And don't put yourself... Now, Hero, I know you can speak to this. You probably can't speak very much just because of the situation, but there are corrupt police officers who will plant, And
I've sent a few to jail.
Exactly. But that's why we need brothers like you inside the system to look out for the people that look like us. But as a community, we need to be getting our young people down, sitting them down. Hey, look, if you do this, this is the result. Like I told you last night, I watched Behind Bars, and it was 8 episodes. They had a prison in Brazil. They had a prison in Argentina. They had a prison in Russia. They had a prison in Sweden or Switzerland or somewhere like that. And then they had Lou Sterrett. Of all the 8 episodes, they had the tent city. They had tent city in Lou Sterrett.
The judge, the
Arpaio,
not the judge, but the
Sheriff
Arpaio, who was convicted by a federal grand jury federal court of and held in contempt, is being glorified on TV. But that speaks to the notion of, you need to be able to do things that are going to make yourself better. Yeah. But more importantly, you need to be educated on the matter. So I'm gonna give you guys a makeshift list, but a few things when dealing with officers, even in situations where you are dead guilt to right, you need to know to shut the hell up. Yes. The more you remember, it's not about what happened, it's about what they can prove. Exactly. So the less you give them, the better off you are. Number 2, don't be afraid to get the fine. Yes. That's something that really, because they give you the fine with the hopes of you escalating it, to which they can then escalate it on you. The truth of the matter is you're never going to outrun a cop. Yeah, that's facts. If a cop can see you, you've already lost. And if you can beat the cop in a foot race, guess what? You're not going to outrun a bullet. Yep. So let's stop with this whole notion of you might be afraid. Your fear is not an excuse for your lack of cognitive thinking. Yes. Your ability to think prevents you from panicking. Your ability not to panic keeps you alive. Yes. So don't talk. Be okay with accepting the fine, because I get pulled over for speeding all the time. And I just get out of my car, take a picture of allegedly throw debris into the street, and take a picture and say, Your Honor, there was debris in the street. I had to make an evasive maneuver in order to protect myself and my livelihood. Show a picture, Your Honor, I went 5 miles over the speed limit just to save my life. I feel like this is something we can excuse for my safety. Yeah. A judge is going to, as long as you bring a judge a reason to say no, they will. Especially in a situation like this, because you're going to pay you $12 and that's the end of it. I've been pulled over speed so many times, and I've gotten out of tickets just off of this bare simple minimum of, he didn't spell my name right. Your Honor, this isn't me. Yeah. I gave him my ID. He broke the stick and gave it. Your Honor, this is not me. Yeah. What about contraband? Like, let's talk about contraband, because I know a lot of people that who keep contraband of any sort that's illegal in the cabin of the car. It goes in the trunk. It can't be on you. No. Because once it's on you, it proves that you had knowledge of it. If it's in a bag in your trunk, Your Honor, I got this bag from a friend and I didn't know what was in it. You got to give yourself a way out. But moreover, first and foremost, legally, just don't carry contraband. It's against the law. Exactly. Give it 2 more years, you'll be able to smoke whatever you want to smoke anywhere you want. And we're talking about weed, which I don't consider a drug. Yeah. Like, just wait. Or move. There's almost 30 states now that allow you to use it. So just move there. Exactly. But moreover, if you're talking about drugs and illegal stuff, at that point, if you're talking about heroin or anything like that, I don't have any sympathy for you, because that's heroin. Yeah. But like we're talking about for weed, hey, look, just don't carry it. Don't be the carrier. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Like, there's things that you can defend. But moreover, once you get caught, just shut up. Because you're caught. And from that point on, anything you say can be used against you. As it stands now, they're using license plates. All these, and I said it when toll booths started coming out, they're going to track us with using this. And it started to happen. They're deporting people. ICE is being authorized by the government to use private companies who use tracking methods. You ever see those white vans going by cars with the little cameras pointed down, but they don't have any decals on them? They're registering license plates. And basically, they'll be able to pull a case on you saying that this car was found in this location 3 times, so we know this person lives here. So they can track you already. With that being said, you have to do whatever it takes in order to protect yourself in the moment.
Yeah.
Shutting up, giving your ID. If an officer pulls you over and doesn't tell you why you've been pulled over, just stay silent. Until they say why you've been pulled over,
yes,
you don't have to answer to anything. If they say you've been pulled over for speeding, well, before that, you need to be recording it.
Yes, you do. Can we talk about the Fifth Amendment? You know, because when the cops, nobody knows when the cops pull you over, if you're in an investigative detention.
Yeah,
you're being detained.
I've been pulled over and not said a single word and let go.
Yeah,
I've been pulled over. This is true. I've been pulled over and didn't say a word and was let go. So
when you're in an investigative detention, that means that the officer has to find something to charge you with. If you understand your Miranda rights, which said you have the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be provided to you by the court. However, the Fifth Amendment, when people say I plead the Fifth, this is where we get the Miranda right from. It says you have the right against any illegal searches and seizures, and you have the right to shut your mouth. The hero just said, be quiet. If the cop pulls you over, asks you to identify yourself, you're in an investigative detention, you should, in order to stay alive as a black person, identify yourself legally.
And that's where I draw parallels because I don't identify myself. And that's just because, and once again, I have a certain level of understanding. I start to pull things from this officer that they wouldn't expect. For example, immediately when they say, can I have your license and registration, identify yourself, then first thing I would say is, can you identify yourself?
Yes, they must prove.
Can I get your badge number? They must, and he'll be like, why are you asking questions? And the famous response I get is, sir, I am in charge here, I'm asking questions. And my immediate response is, you sure? Because I'm pretty sure I pay taxes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for condescending answers to ridiculous questions. But the point here we want to make, if you should take anything from this segment, is you need to understand what the power of silence will do. Not only in dealing with treacherous situations in your life, but just what it'll do for your psyche and center of peace. Sometimes just being quiet and watching the world implode on itself is a masterful thing.
Yeah.
So take that as you will. As whatever you do, just shut up.
Yeah. We definitely need to do a whole show about that.
We definitely will, and we'll pull up specific cases, and because a lot of people say stuff to me like, hero, you're being biased, and I'm like, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't.
So we'll move on to let's talk about our good friend
Monique.
Celebrity in the house. My friend Monique.
Oh,
and for every good thing that a black person does, we got that one person at the family gathering.
She's that obnoxious aunt that drinks too much and says too much.
You brought your friend with you, and now she's talking to friend like, come over here and sit with auntie. Like, yo, chill. I ain't trying to have my best friend as my uncle. Like, chill, aunt.
Yeah.
But she went out on a limb and complained about the situation with her right now. If you don't know, is basically she was upset about being charged less than
or paid less
or getting paid less by Netflix to have a show, a live show event. And she compared herself to people of the likes of Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, and like the Bill Burrs, and she basically said Netflix is being gender and race biased, and she's calling on the black people to boycott Netflix. All right, no, I'm gonna before you even start, I want to just throw this out here. Luke Cage, have you seen it?
Yes.
What was that? What that come on?
Netflix.
What's that Will Smith's son's name?
Jaden Smith.
He made an anime. What that come on?
Netflix.
Oh wait, I know. What's that girl? Issa Rae. She's making
HBO.
She's HBO, and then she's making more shows. And where are they more likely to be published on?
Netflix.
So y'all can probably tell how I feel. Eric, I want to hear what you got to say about it.
Bruh. So the way I found out about it was on Facebook. One of my homegirls had made a post and it just randomly popped up in my feed, and I'm looking like, oh, what Monique? Where she been at? Because what she put was Monique is a decorated comedian and actress. She deserves more. I was like, hold on. I said, first of all, I have a list of like 10 things I wrote down in response, which is funny. I wrote this and nobody responded to it. But you know why? Because it was factual and it was detailed, and nobody.
There's fake news going out there talking about how she won 82 awards but was nominated for 50. I want you guys to use your brain and mathematical skills. If you were only nominated for 50 things, how did you win 80? That's not factual. That's not possible. She's decorated. She's a great comedian, but her time has passed. Like, name something other than Precious that Monique has come out in the last 30 years. That she won something for.
You can't. And here's the thing. And first of all, my whole feeling about that Precious movie, first of all, I think it was a deplorable film. It was I feel like it was a terrible.
I get tired of seeing.
It's the stereotypes.
Yeah, why are we always the drug dealer, the bad guy, the poor guy? Black Panther is going to do so much for just black movies. Like, black movies. I'm sorry to steal this, but black movies have this issue. I never liked black movies. The BET movies. I never enjoyed. My favorite black movie is Friday and the next one after. The next Friday. Those are my only two favorite. But like, Set It Off.
Hated it.
Like just Baby Boy.
Hated it.
I've never seen Baby Boy. I've never seen Set It Off. I've never seen like Love and Basketball. Like none of Love and Basketball actually is a good one. That's positive. I believe.
Yeah, it is positive.
But the reason why I didn't like it is a lot of them is because one, I didn't understand the references as a young child. Two, as an adult, I still don't get them. Like, I understand them, but they're not relevant to me.
Yeah.
Why don't we have any movie? Like, if you go to Bollywood over there in India, they have themselves dressed as fucking kings and queens, Persian, like, elites. And I'm just like, the string and graphic wirings are horrible, but it's such an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah.
Why do black people have a hard time making positive black movies? Like, why did it take Marvel to make the first positive black movie?
Well, I don't want to get too deep down a rabbit hole.
Of course.
Because I have very strong opinions about it. People gonna find out about me. I am contrarian black man.
You think Hero's like an ass and like straightforward? No, this is straight edge lord right here.
I am very contrarian, and the reason I've realized that somebody has to speak up and say something. First of all, let's list out the people who are prominent. We got Shonda Rhimes.
Oh my.
We have Lee Daniels.
Okay.
Tyler Perry.
Oh.
Oprah.
Yes.
And that what's her name? Asa DuVernay.
Yeah.
Those are like the top 5 right now. And you look at the show Shonda Rhimes has produced. Let's start with her.
Okay.
She has what was it that's going off the air with Kerry Washington.
Oh.
I forgot. I don't know why I can't think of it.
It's the one with their like scandals?
Scandal, yeah, Scandal. So you got Scandal. Look at Scandal. We have a black heroine.
Mm-hmm. Cheating the system. Cheating with a married white man. Yeah.
Sleeping with another white man who is some kind of assassin. The second show, How to Get Away with Murder. We have another black heroine who's sleeping with white men. Mm-hmm. Got a problem with that. Got a huge problem with that. Who you go to bed with is your problem. But what I do have a problem with is you as a black woman, as a director, not having the balls to make it real. That's not acceptable.
Especially since last year we had a black president. So it's not like it's make believe.
Who was married to a real black woman. I mean, she was all the way black woman.
She smelled like shea butter.
Hey. Yeah.
I know she smelled like shea butter. I know.
I mean, and that's the thing. What I'm saying, like, I had issue with that. Secondly, let's look at the Ava DuVernay. She did the movie Moonlight.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. With the homosexual.
Yeah. I was. It's not how we need to be portraying our black men. Got a problem with that. Then you got Lee Daniels. What is Lee Daniels? He's a non-heterosexual male. making what 12 Years a Slave, making Precious. Why are you depicting black folks in such a negative light when you have the ability and the platform to make something positive?
I will say this: if there is this unspoken rule in Hollywood, you got to make the movie the studio wants to get the movie you really want. And I'll give you an example. Marvel, Edgar Wright. I don't know if you know who he is.
No.
Edgar Wright made the Shaun of the Deads.
Oh yeah.
He's that guy. He's the Hot Fuzz. He's that director. He also made my favorite movie in the world, the movie that taught me how to play guitar, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He made that movie. But he also made Baby Driver, which just recently came out. Baby Driver is an amazing movie. He wanted Marvel. The deal he made with Marvel was that, I'll make Ant-Man for you if you let me make Baby Driver. And they're like, we're Disney. Are you out of your mind? You got people getting shot and killed. And that's when the relationship started to deteriorate. So there is this notion where you do have to make these bad movies, like these studio purposed movies, before you can go out and make the movie you want. The problem is, okay, after you made 12 Years a Slave, and you won a bunch of awards, what movie can you make afterwards, or which one are you working on now?
I don't know. He did The Help. He did the other one with what's his name?
So it's just for him, he's just banking on what he knows is safe. Take some risk.
Yeah.
Especially since you can afford it.
Exactly. And why exploit your people for $1? And that's the thing I be trying to get black folks to understand. The Help. No. The other one we had, what's my man? Forrest Whitaker as the butler. The butler.
The butler, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you making these trash bag movies? Like, seriously, I'm not a butler. I'm not a baker. I'm not a candlestick maker. I'm freaking a king.
And Jay-Z is really good about that. Jay-Z, when 4-4 came out and the story of OJ,
yes,
like, he's not talking about, like, us. He's talking about rich people, I feel like. He's talking about rich people like, hey, no matter what you do, like, because we understand.
Yeah.
Hey, I know. What's up? Like, I get poor. Hey, bro, I get it. It's just something you got to do. But he's telling you, who's sitting there thinking that you're not part of us. Nah, bro, you're part of us. Whether you cleaning the spoon on the inside of the house or working the field at night. Exactly. You're one of us. We are the same. Yeah. So you're right. We need to see this movement of positivity in the film industry because, like I said, our kids. That's why. Shout out. The Strangers.
Shout out the Strangers.
Zemi is a black superhero. She's my superhero. Like, I don't know a female black superhero that I watched as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
The first one I thought of was Storm.
Storm. There's a very, very short list.
Storm, Vixen. Like, I'm a nerd, so I know these things, but I know no one knows Vixen.
Vixen, Jaguar, Microwavable. Yeah. Who knows about that?
No one knows about her. Like, Misty Knight. No one knew about her until the Defenders.
I feel like it's atrocious, and the thing is, I'm not trying to veer too far off the path of Monique, but I feel like, what was she gonna produce?
Monique,
trash.
Yeah, like I could tell you what her jokes were gonna be about. She was gonna be man shaving, just hitting a bunch of shit,
racism.
Racism. Like him. Like, don't get me wrong. I think she's wonderful as an actor, but I mean, I'm just gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. But there was another situation very similar to this same situation that was handled with grace.
Wanda Sykes.
Oh, you looked up this story?
Wanda Sykes.
Oh, okay.
She got the same. They came to her and gave her the same offer, and she used it as leverage and went and got way more money on her own show. She has complete creative control over it.
And also, to take that a step further, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but the movie about the 3 black mathematicians from the astronomical Hidden Figures. I feel bad for saying this. The heavier set lady. I don't know her name. I'm gonna look it up. Let's look at the class. But that lady, as I look up her name, she was offered significantly less than her co-star, who was a white actress. And instead of flipping out and making a big fuss about it, she decided the white female co-star decided not to take the role and demand that the star or the better star gets paid appropriately. Tiandra P. Henson was in it. Octavia J. Spencer and Janelle Monáe.
Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer is the lady. If you're looking at the, I don't know. This I don't have to focus. It's a lady on the all the way to the left.
Yeah, we can't see.
I can't see it. But basically, she was offered less, and she could have blown this out of proportion and made a big fuss, and rightfully so.
Yeah, but
she allowed her co-stars to stand up for it. Same thing with that TV show Hawaii 5-0.
Exactly.
This is a show called Hawaii 5-0, and the people who are indigenous to the area are being paid less than the white actors.
I mean,
and all the actors stood up and so once again, full circle, accountability.
Yeah.
When you see something is wrong, it's not your job to just point at it. Yeah. It's your job to help resolve it.
Yes.
Don't say you see something wrong and not do nothing about it.
Exactly. See, and here's the thing about Monique. Like this, first of all, she got an Oscar for playing herself. I'm not, no respect. Zero.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, let's just be real.
It's an Oscar.
For playing herself.
It's an Oscar, though.
I mean, Oscars is just a bunch of freaking Hollywood people patting each other on the back. I don't.
Okay, then to make this progressive, then what approach should she have taken?
This is what she should have done. First of all, she didn't seek out Netflix. Netflix sought her out.
Yeah.
So this is how we know she's a poor businesswoman. Because what I would have did if I felt like I was getting lowballed, I would have went and asked, "Hey man, is this the best that you can do?" First mistake. Second mistake was taking the paperwork that they sent her, taking her John Brown High Parts over to Hulu or Amazon or HBO. Issa Rae's on HBO. Yeah. She could have backdoored over there. Yeah. Could have went to Showtime. Look, Stars has 2 black shows on there.
I think this is now coming down to a humble thing.
It's a humility. Yeah. Well, no, her excuse for the humility thing, because somebody brought that up. She said she humbled herself when she took the Precious role for only $50K. I was like, baby, you weren't working then and you ain't working now. Yeah. Here's the thing, but they offered you $500K. That's $500 more than you got yesterday.
And that was the thing about it. I am, us coming from our humble beginnings in our current situations. Some of us don't have money.
Exactly.
So when somebody says, hey, here's $500,000 to talk
whatever
for 1 hour, is that a problem? Like, is that I don't know what the business world is saying for it, but I know you're not Kevin Hart. You're not selling out the garden.
But she here's the thing. She has a higher self. There's nothing wrong with having a high self-image, but she has a bigger image of herself than the rest of the world. And what she could have done, even if she took the $500,000, she could have did the special. If she would have marketed it correctly, she could have smashed it, got people to watch it, made it worthwhile. And then she would have had an in with Netflix. They would have let her do something else that could have generated more money.
Yeah. And to give you guys more perspective, and just so you know, this is the jam. Remember, Dave Chappelle, was given 3 show opportunities on Netflix. The first 2 came out right away. The third one was held off. You know why that third one was held off? Because the first 2 sucked. Then they would have to pay him for the third one. She missed an opportunity to take advantage of a platform that has more. There are more people with Netflix than there are with cable now.
Yes, there is 180 million Netflix users worldwide. 50 million roughly in the U.S. I actually had the numbers. No, 51 million. So 20% of Netflix global users are Americans. It's 51 million. It says. And half the Netflix users in the U.S. are women. Netflix has not released any racial demographics because their algorithm has figured out that race has very little effect on what its subscribers will watch. It says, so if we just use the Census Bureau statistics for black women being 7.54% of total population and multiply that by 51 million, we get 3.85 million black women.
Shout out to Nafi for letting me use her Netflix account.
Yeah, shout outs for the hookup, for the plug. But I said if we use that we multiply the 7.54% into 51 million, we get 3.85 million black women. And I'm sure that's an overestimation of black women using Netflix. That being said, how many of these women would actually watch the show is probably smaller than we think, and I'm sure that's why they made her a generous offer of $500,000.
No, definitely. You have to stop going to corporations for sympathy.
Exactly.
That's just something that has to be like done. Like corporations aren't here to sully you, to comfort you. They are here to plead guilty or innocent. Period. Money.
And why do we think so small? Here's another suggestion, and I wrote it in the post. I said, what if she took the $500,000, use it as seed money to start a streaming service that was owned and ran by black folks?
You mean to tell me she couldn't go to Kevin Hart and be like, "Hey, Kevin, I got $500,000 towards this"?
Why Jay-Z already has over 10 million users on Tidal? Why couldn't she have plugged in and said, "Hey, let's get a video service going. I will start putting put Kevin Hart on there, put other comedians that were on there, put other actors." I mean, what if she could have leveraged that and got Tyler Perry to do a show on Tidal?
It's all about leverage, communication and leverage. It's very important.
Thinking too small.
Yeah, hey, while you're on Facebook, wherever you're watching this now, like there's someone on your Facebook page promoting something.
Yeah,
I'm here to tell you that one little like makes a difference to them.
It does.
It changes the outcome. You are actually going to generously try and push this out to the public hard when it comes out. I think we can even break this up into 2 sections. We're making 3 videos out there. There's one for the Black History and out of this, out of that. But push it.
Yeah.
Push yourself to, like, there's no such thing as being a nuisance on social media because no one remembers anything longer than 3 seconds. I posted 2 of the same pictures 2 days apart. They got the same number of likes from the same number of people. It's just there. It's media to be digested. So while you're digesting it, at least let it be good and beneficial for you. So that's what we're trying to do with Monique. Yeah. Get her in a situation where we can get her. Because Monique, I'm here to tell you, Eric don't like you, but Hero is okay with you, sweetie, trying to get better. But you got to do it in a more humble way. All right, so for all intents and purposes, that's been the show, guys. Yeah. We're gonna get you guys some more information, but we're still working on it. We're still trying to figure out. We got the camera going,
exactly.
We got the mic going, we got the screen going. I plugged in 3 light bulbs. What's up? But thank you guys so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. We covered a lot of stuff. Everything that we talked about will be timestamped and linked below. So if there's something you missed, you can just hit on the link below, and it'll take you right to that certain point in the show if you're on YouTube. Yeah. If you're on iTunes, I don't know iTunes. Like, you just got to go ahead and hit the 15 minutes back. Like, you know how it goes. Yeah. But for all intents and purposes, if you want to get in contact with us, you can reach us at Project _ETO for Facebook. Project _ETO for Twitter and Instagram. You can reach us on the fan page on Facebook, Project ETO. Me and Eric are both admins there, and any one of us will comment. If any one of you comment, we will definitely get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah. Leave a comment below. Tell us about this. Rate us on iTunes. Leave a like here. Share this with somebody that you think won't like it. Because 93% of your video upright in the beginning comes from hate. So let's get some people interested in talking to us, especially when we're talking about doing good things, and we know bad people don't like that. Exactly. So, Eric, if somebody wants to reach you, where can they find you?
At Thomas RFC Group on Instagram.
All right, cool. And this has been the Identity Booth, and I hope you guys understand that our objective here isn't to upset you. It's to give you a certain level of education and knowledge that not only you can then use to better yourself, but then come back and give us what you found out. Yep. A goal is to make us as a group better off. And the only way we can do that is by pushing ourselves a little bit harder, a little bit further than we were yesterday. This has been the Identity Booth. I greatly appreciate it. Eric, thanks for all the support and help.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys
next week.
We bringing a wife on. I don't got a wife.
Hey, I'm bringing a wife on. We're talking about relationships. Y'all need to stay tuned for this one because we're talking about the 7 things men and women need to do to get and keep.
I'm single,
a partner.
I'm single, so I need to hear this. I'm gonna be in the show, but I ain't gonna be saying much. I want to hear this.
Oh yeah.
Man, black love. I
man. Say, listen, y'all love my wife. She's about yay big, but she's She's like a mini stick of dynamite.
We bring in a woman into the man cave. This is unheard of.
Yeah.
Family blood ain't even.
Go sit right here on my lap the whole time.
Family blood ain't even been in here.
Hey.
I'm gonna be jealous. I need to bring. Hey. I need a girl for the podcast.
Hey. Project ETO. Y'all need to hit him up.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Well, Project ETO, hit me up. Slide in the DMs.
Hey.